What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at why the AP poll sucks. Now, right off the bat, I know the comment I'm going to receive the most. It's that the AP poll doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. And it is. But that doesn't stop us from bitching about it, does it? And maybe more importantly, I feel that the AP poll kind of lends some bad habits to the committee poll. Now, I do think the playoff committee poll does have some good things about it. My favorite thing is that it starts so late in the season. One of the biggest issues with the AP poll is the fact that you have all these media members that are putting their predictions into the pot before the season even starts. And right off the bat, you have a lot of media members that are kind of echoing each other. It's groupthink. And those media members, just like all of us, they want to be right. And because of that, they are less likely to come up with their own unbiased polls as the season progresses. And even from there, you have this groupthink process that if you win, you rise. If you lose, you drop. Now, that's not the case all the time, but one of the things that I've always had a huge issue with is why does, say, just for example, why does the 8th best team in the country drop in the polls when they lose to the best team, the number 1 team in the polls? Especially if it's a close game. That doesn't make any sense. But regardless, that's here or there. So I'm just gonna jump right to the chase. The number 8 team in the country, Auburn, should be number 1. And as another Tiger fan, that kind of sucks to say. But Auburn, in my opinion, has the best resume in college football. Auburn beat Oregon on a neutral site. They won at Texas A&M, and then they slaughtered Mississippi State at home. Now, Auburn might not be the best team in college football, but the only thing you can go off of is the results on the field. Anything else is opinion and is a disservice to every other college football team. And this is why I love college football. The Auburn Tigers still have to go to Florida this weekend, which is going to be a huge test for both clubs. They have to go to LSU, they host Georgia, and then they host Alabama to close out the regular season. So again, I'm going to repeat myself. Auburn may not be the best team, but they should be the number 1 team in the polls right now. And if they slip up, and if they lose, say, 2 or 3 of those 4 games I just mentioned, then you drop them, and there's no harm in it. And at that point, you're letting the schedule work itself out. And you're kind of letting the poll work itself out, too, if you're honest. So that leads me to another Tiger, and that's Clemson. Clemson goes on the road against the unranked North Carolina team and narrowly escapes with a 1-point victory. Now, they did drop in a poll, and that in itself probably deserves a round of applause. But they dropped to number 2. The former number 1 team in the country goes to an unranked school, wins by 1, and drops a single spot. Now, let's pretend. Let's pretend that you have been in a coma for the last 5 or 6 years. You have no idea what has gone on in the last 5 or 6 years. You wake up and you watch all the college football you can. Where do you rank Clemson? Are they in the top 2? Are they in the top 4? Are they even in the top 10? What has Clemson done this year to deserve the spot that they currently hold? In a couple weeks, when the first playoff committee poll gets released, what has Clemson done then for the top 4 spot that they're gonna have? Is there any game on their schedule so far that you can look at and say, that's a top 2 team in the country? Because it wasn't beating A&M. And this is kind of where we get into the whole subject of, like, let's schedule somebody. Is Clemson hosting Florida State or going on the road against Louisville gonna convince you that they deserve a top 2 spot? Or does them closing out their season at South Carolina convince you? So at that point, 7 or 8 weeks from now, when Clemson's sitting with a spot in the playoff, what have they done to deserve it other than receiving the benefit of the doubt from the polls, or recency bias too? Now, maybe they make the playoffs and maybe they play very well, maybe they win it all, but can we really sit here and say that they deserve a spot more than another team? At some point, scheduling somebody has to matter. Strength of schedule has to matter. So I don't have much more than that. Just a little bit of a rant against the polls. It's all about where you start. And I just really want to see these committee members and these media members rank these teams based off of what they did on the field and not what they thought they would do on the field. Or what they've done in the past for some schools. You know, I look at the ESPN playoff picks that they put out every week. And of their 14 writers, 6 of them had LSU getting in to the playoff, which is honestly a little better than I expected, but LSU holds the single best win of any college football team so far this season when they went to Texas and won. But what's even worse, only 4 of the 14 have Auburn in, and then only 3 of the 14 have Georgia in, who in my opinion owns the second best win of the season, when they beat Notre Dame, what was that, a week or 2 ago? No, I'm not advocating for an all SEC field or anything like that, you know. But I want to see college football even out the playing field a little bit to where, and this is where I'm gonna start sounding SEC biased, and it's probably because I am, but I don't want to see a 1 or 2 loss SEC team not get in because some team in the Big Ten or something like that played a significantly easier schedule to where, say, an SEC team where, say, the 4th best team on an SEC team's schedule would have been the best team that another school played all season. And yeah, I'm kind of talking about you, Clemson. But anyway, that's kind of all I have on the subject. I just want to see more unbiased rankings. Again, it doesn't matter. The playoff committee polls are what matters. But like I said, we all spend a lot of time bitching about these. We all spend a lot of time analyzing them. And I want to see something better. So go ahead and drop your comments down below. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you disagree with me. If you do disagree with me, let me know what you disagree about. I'm more than happy to have some open discussion. Please consider hitting that subscribe button down below for more videos just like this one. Later, guys.